Hello, this is AnlineOffline. Welcome back to another casual's quick guide to Call of Duty Mobile. For today's video, we'll be covering the Bruen MK9. Introduced in Mobile's 4th anniversary, the Bruen is an automatic light machine gun from Modern Warfare 2019, and has returned in this year's Modern Warfare 3 reboot. It is based on the FN Minimi, a recurring weapon with many variants in the COD franchise. After World War II, Sweden's Carl Gustaf unsuccessfully attempted to design a belt-fed conversion of Browning's automatic rifle. FN Estelle decided to flip its long-stroke gas piston upside down and combine it with the MG42's feeding system. This resulted in the Mitrailleuse depuis Générale, or FN MAG. Heavy, reliable, and rival to the lighter-weight Soviet PKM. A couple decades later, America needed new machine guns after Vietnam, something less prone to jamming in extreme conditions than the M60. The MAG outperformed it by a significant margin and was adopted as the M240, originally for tanks and vehicles, but eventually expanded into infantry use. High-velocity intermediate rounds like the 5.56 proved effective, and FN designed the Mini Mitrailleuse as a scaled-down spin-off for a squad automatic role. Aside from belt feeding, it can also feed detachable box mags sideways as a last resort, albeit not as reliably. A modified Minimi won a competition against the M16 H-Bar and HK23A1 as America's M249. Since then, it has undergone a few upgrades and variants. US Special Forces wanted a lighter version of the paratrooper variant, and this gave way to the Mark 46. US SOCOM then decided to scale it up to 7.62x51 NATO as the Mark 48. After 40 years of service, it would inevitably be replaced. The US Marines have already transitioned to H&K's M27 IRA, and with the NGSW program, 6 Hours XM250 will replace the M249. But back to the Bruen. Base damage per shot is moderate, killing in 4 shots at first and dropping to 5 at mid to long range, much like the Chopper, 80s, and PKM. It does have bullet speed, but 1000 meters per second is solid for most multiplayer engagements. It's also a higher impact weapon and will cause enemies to flinch more. The fire rate is the same as the Chopper and S36 at 750 rounds per minute, only behind the Steel Rain Dingo in the LMG class. Up close, the time to kill is relatively average, but the low damage drop-off means it'll always be a threat on normal multiplayer maps. Headshots are 20% extra damage, and can extend its 4-shot potential into mid-range, otherwise you need multiple up close to get a 3-shot kill. Moving on to barrel attachments. Para is a short barrel that increases ADS and movement speeds, but reduces your bullet speed by 17%, hurts your bloom, and slightly adds more recoil. Horizon is a ranger barrel that increases your bullet speed by 25%, extends your range, and improves accuracy, while only hurting your ADS speed. And lastly, Summit is a marksman barrel that takes Horizon even further while sacrificing your mobility. Speaking of which, the Bruen is tied with the Dingo, Holger, and S36 for above average base movement speeds in the LMG class. With movement attachments, it can achieve speeds similar to ARs, although a similarly built Holger and M4 LMG are still faster. But then again, the Bruen would have an advantage in ADS and sprint out times. The ammo capacity is strange. The base mag size is the standard 100 for belt-fed machine guns, and can be extended to 200, or it could be reduced to a 60-round box mag in exchange for more freedom of movement. The strange part is that the Bruen only has 1 spare mag when belt-fed, and 2 when mag-fed, as opposed to the usual 4 for other guns. It also has the slowest reload in the game when belt-fed, 8.5 seconds for the full animation, and 7.4 to reload cancel. Compared to the previous title holder, it is faster to not reload cancel an empty PKM than it is to reload cancel an empty Bruen. As for accuracy, the Bruen has better than average bloom and is comparable to most assault rifles. The fire rate may be tempting, but hip firing is not recommended given its wide spread. I'm not a fan of the iron sights, given how obstructive they are, but they're usable, although I have noticed that some people find the jiggling carry handle to be distracting. At least the recoil is light and perfect for burst firing. So, what are my thoughts on the Bruen? I didn't get to use it much last season due to exams. On paper, it has good time to kill, easy recoil, AR level accuracy, and SMG level speed. In practice, the unusual lack of spare ammo is problematic and necessitates running full ammo, vulture, or munition boxes. The belt-fed reloading process is miserable for respawns, but they did secretly buff mag-fed reloading, albeit just barely. So how does it compare to its peers? With a chopper, the Bruen is more accurate and mobile, especially since the chopper has one of the worst sprint out times. But the chopper should kill more consistently due to being hit scan, has more spare ammo, and usually reloads faster. Its sister, the Hades, did receive a movement buff to match the UL for the fastest base LMG movement, but the Bruen has attachments to allow it to run faster. The Hades still maintains the edge in strafing speeds, is hit scan, and has a 3-shot potential with rapid fire. With the S36, they have the same base movement speeds and fire rate, but the S36 is held back by its slow ADS speed. The Bruen has an infinite 5-shot range, but the S36 still technically maintains an infinite effective range. And lastly, there's the Holger, which can outspeed the Bruen with its own box mags, and has more range, although it has the least impact of all LMGs. One season later, I don't see many people using the Bruen, so does it need any changes? The most obvious choice is to give the Bruen normal ammo capacity, but unfortunately this was the case in 2019, and because of the dev's stance on making new guns faithful to their source games, this may not change. Mobile is a generally faster paced game than 2019, so I find it strange that our Bruen reloads so much slower than over there. And lastly, I know the weapon is not old, and this is even less likely to happen, but there are plenty of unique signature attachments that the devs could draw upon based on its other incarnations. Infinite Warfare's Atlas had an underbarrel smoke launcher. Black Ops 3's 48 Dredge was originally supposed to come to mobile, but was scrapped, so it would be nice to have its 6-round burst as an homage, instead of adding a separate gun to grind for. That, and I don't think I can say more about the Minimi. But hey, that's just my opinion. This has been a Casual's quick guide. Feel free to suggest what weapons you want to see covered next. My name is On, and I'm off.